Okay, I'm gonna make a ImGui project. I don't know, I just kind of want to. Got that itch to do so. I've been learning some C++. It's interesting. um, it's not my cup of tea yet, but it's not horrible. I've been using C Lion, and I'm thinking if I wind up going further into C++, I'll probably use NeoVim. C++, learning the syntax has been really easy actually. The basic syntax. I can really easily do one of the, like if the CSA test were in APCSA, if the APCSA test were in C++, I would be confident I could get like a 4 or a 5, right? But like when you start getting into the weeds of actually developing your own library, it gets kind of eh. Or sorry, not developing your own library, just more complex programs, especially those that require libraries. Um, and you kind of need to advance to the more advanced syntax at that point. I think multi-file programs is a bit of a new concept for me with C++ because of the header files, but it's a really easy concept to understand. It's just like the all the hashtag arguments, all this extra, because it's such a manual language. It's such a well, it's not super low level. It's a middle level language. So essentially, you kind of have to do everything on yourself, which means there's a really diverse array of syntax that you have to learn. And the basics is really easy. It just takes a while to memorize the rest. But I'm getting to it. Um, I'm just gonna let's create a new. I'll create a Git repository for it. Um, I don't know, I'll just call it ImGui calculator, I guess. Calculator. I don't know. Grapher ImGui graphing calculator. I guess I don't really know. I'll plop it on my desktop, I guess. I'll be using Gradle. God, I have way too many JDK versions installed. She's just the latest one I've got. I'll upgrade to 21 when it comes out. Group ID, Lorax, com.loraxio, yeah, I guess. Let's create it. Okay, so I think what I'm gonna do is start with importing some stuff. Let's see. Um, let's wait for this to load up. I've got a place to. I have like an ImGui. What would you call it? An ImGui playground. Not sure if that's the right word for it. But it's just where I play around with the ImGui. Yeah, this is the description. Random repository for my ImGui, LW, JGL, OpenGL, and GLFW library testing. So let's just go to build.gradle. I'm just going to copy all this. Now, I'm realizing, can switch between operating systems, but I don't think OpenGL is supported on Mac OS, so I think that's kind of redundant. I don't really want to I don't want to like mess it up right now. I'd rather just get straight to coding. So that's what we're gonna do. Alright, I think everything's downloaded. Let's see. Let's open up the main. I've been wanting to switch to NeoVim, but I mean, the reason I'm not is really stupid. I really like the macro, or what do you call it? The macros, the keybinds on IntelliJ. Just allows me to switch between stuff very, very easily. Anyways, let's start with the main method as always. Then I guess since we are doing I guess it's going to be a window application. So let's create a window package, or just create a render package, app window. I started calling my window classes app window just because it's a unique class name. Because if I search window, there's the AWT window, and I always run into issues when importing stuff. So I just stick with app window now. Okay, so the app window is going to, I'll just make it like any normal one. We'll create an instance, and then we'll have a title. Actually, there should be a window title. Yeah, that makes more sense. Public static int window width and window height. Honestly, I stopped using getters and setters. It's just a lot of redundancy, and I'd rather just use the variables directly. Yeah, especially for static variables. It's just not worth the hassle of creating getters and setters. Like, I don't really understand why it's coding practice, because here's the thing. It adds so much extra code, like down here, and it just makes it harder to read. And it does the same exact thing as if you were to access the variable with the variable set to public. I feel like that stems. I feel like the getters and setters. I'm not entirely sure. You know what? Why don't we Google it? Well, why do we use getters and setters in Java? To protect your data, particularly when creating classes. For each instance variable, a getter method returns its value, while as given this are also known as access mutators. Okay, I guess. I guess if you were going to be, like, here's the thing. If I'm creating a getter and setter for a variable, and all that's inside the variable is, the only thing that's inside of the getter is return this dot variable, then what's the point, right? Then you can just access the variable regularly. And same if this would be the case if it's for setters as well. If all you're doing is this dot variable equals to whatever's passed through the parameter, then just access the variable directly. There's no real point in changing that. Making a getter and setter. Anyways, that's enough with my rant about that. We'll have our glfw window pointer, and let's set this to null for now. Let me adjust my keyboard. And I'm going to create an ImGui layer. Let's comment this out for now. Actually, should we do that first? Actually, wait, did we import? Okay, yeah, we did import. Sorry, my mind's blanking. Let's create the ImGui first. ImGui. Now, okay, I'm trying to think. Should I just import everything? Honestly, I should. It would just be a lot. Or not import, like copy it from a different project. Yeah, I'm just gonna do that. Okay. github.com. github.com, what is going on? Why doesn't it go, why is that not a http www.github.com? What the hell? Okay, Opera. www.github.com. There we go. Oh, God damn it. Alright, let's just go there, go to repositories. And I have a, if I go in here, ImGui layer. This should be good enough. I'll just copy this and create an ImGui layer. And actually, should I rename this to No, just set it to ImGui layer. Alright, paste that. There are a few errors because we haven't created the mouse listener, stuff like that. Okay. Let's see. This stuff can be deleted. And that stuff hasn't been imported, so let's just do that. Actually, no, we'll keep that there. Okay, and then here. Oh wait, now this stuff is wrong. Because if I go down to here, let's import that, and now what's left? Alright, this stuff. Mouse listener we haven't created yet. Let's just ignore these. What else, what else, what else? It says, okay, that update isn't called. Right here. Ignore this. I don't know, it just bugs me whenever it says this. Just ignore this stuff. That's our key binding and stuff. And the rest should be good. Well, except for this. Let's go to here and uncomment this. And there we go. So anyways, let's continue with the window. So now that we've created the ImGui layer, we'll declare it, we'll do private final ImGui implementation. Nope, not that. Actually, yeah, we can do that. God damn it, my goddamn keybinds. Just do that. Alright, my keyboard is screwing me over right now. Private static vector 4f call it backdrop. Alright, a backdrop, and alright, this is honestly, my typing is really off game. Alright, I gotta step it up. Alright, private long, and we'll have an audio context pointer and an audio, actually, well, why would we need audio? This is a calculator. Private app window. So I'm making it private. That way we can only ever have, we can basically control how many instances. Oh wait. Let's do that. And yeah, we'll make it, yeah, I guess we can make that. and this can be 1. 1, 1, 1. Yeah, that's fine. And then the reason we made it, yeah, there we go. Just do that right there. There we go. Public void run will create our run method. Our run method will be the initial starting point after the main method. So now we can just say hello LWJGL. Well, actually, we don't need that because actually no. Say LWJGL version.get version. There we go. Okay. So we're going to want to create an init window method. This init window method is going to be a private void init window. So first, glfw or glfw error callback dot create print, and we'll set it to system.error. Alright, and now we're also going to, if the glfw cannot initialize, then we're going to throw a new, unable to initialize glfw. And then we'll create our GLSL version. GLSL version equals to, that 330. Actually, we're going to be using I think we're using 130. GLFW default window hints, and we can just copy this down here. GLFW window hints, GLFW content version major, GLFW content version major 3. What's wrong with this? GLFW content, context, my bad, version major 3, and do that. Set this to minor, glfw context version minor. It's going to be glfw, whoops, visible. So this is going to be if the window itself is visible. We'll set it to false while we're initializing it or setting it up. And then we are going to make it resizable. So I'll just do that. Come on, what's your problem? Create method glfw. Remove redundant art. Oh, glfw. This should not say default. glfw window hint. Alright. And then we'll actually set the pointer window to a new window with the window width, the height, the title, and set this to null. Nope, null, and null. Okay. And if the pointer is equal to null, then we'll throw a new illegal state exception. create a position callback. GLFW set cursor position callback. Yeah, well, okay, so we'll have to do inputs callbacks. And then we'll make the context current GLFW window. So there we go, GLFW swap interval, and we'll set this to 1 to enable vsync. And then we'll finally show the window, make it visible. So now we'll actually create these capabilities. GL enable, GL blend. I believe it's this one. GL enable, GL blend function, and we'll do GL1, GL1 minus source alpha. And then let's initialize our ImGui layer, and we'll pass in the GLFW window pointer. And honestly, don't really need this. And then we'll do to do create or set the first scene. So I'm not sure if this app will have multiple scenes, but I'll just do it anyways, just in case. Okay, so after that, we're going to do a couple things in the run method. After init window, actually wait, I need a sneeze. We should probably initialize the GLFW .init, GLFW true, and then ImGui GL3 inits, GLSL version, perfect. Okay, that's all done. Now in the run method, now we'll loop, obviously, and let's create that loop method, private void loop. Right, and this loop method's it's just gonna have a standard game loop, so we'll have a float begin time equals to float GLFW get time. It's gonna get the GLFW time, and then we'll declare an end time float delta time equals to -1.f float timer equals to begin time plus 1 while close. We'll pass in the GLFW window pointer. Okay, so in this while loop, one second. Okay, so in this while loop is going to be the main loop now. So let's do the GLFW poll events, and then we'll have to do debug draw. So this is where we're going to do the debug draw. So that would be where I suppose we graph stuff. Whoops. We'll set the backdrop there. And now let's manage the FPS delta time greater or equal to 0, then we will do, I'm not sure what that is, so I'm just going to delete that. We'll do to do update and render active scene, and then we'll do // to do draw debug, and actually this should be debug begin frame. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and then we'll do if begin time is greater or equal to the timer. Then we are going to do timer equals to begin time plus 1. There we go. And now do this dot ImGui layer dot update delta time, and then do / to do end frame for mouse and key listener, for the mouse and key listener, and then glfw swap buffers, and we'll do pass in the pointer to our window. Now just fix up some of these variables. End time equals to float, glfw get time, delta time equals to end time minus begin time, and begin time is equal to end time. And then here we will do, actually, yeah, no, we don't need to do anything there. And then why is this private? I literally went on a rant about it being public, so yeah, okay, this is good, this is good. Everything looks good, so what's next? Fix up the ImGui. I mean, yeah, we'll do I don't know, what should we do next? I guess we should do the input. I guess that's next up, so let's do new package called input. And up here, let's delete this. This is going to be a very simple class, I believe, so we'll just do private static key listener called instance. The way we do it this way is so that we never actually create multiple instances. Key pressed. And this is the C++ way of doing it, but we are not doing C++. Key begin press. And then we'll create our private constructor so that we don't accidentally create a new one. Public static void end frame. So we're going to end the frame. Public static key listener get instance. Let's do the instance first, and let's put this up. Whoops. Let's put this up here, right? So this is going to so if the key listener dot instance, if the instance is equal to null, then we are going to do instance equals to a new key listener, and then we're going to return instance. In the end frame, raise.fill gets.key begin press false. There we go. And then we'll create the key callback. Oh, there we go. Huh, GitHub Copilot is really good. Let's make sure everything's correct though. If the action is glfw press, then we're gonna, okay, yeah, this is mostly wrong. So let's go up here. If action equals to glfw press, and we're going to do get instance dot key pressed key true get instance dot key begin press is equal to true, else if the action is equal to release, then we'll set the key pressed key to false, whoops, and get instance key begin pressed false. Alright, perfect. Now we'll do, yeah, that's exactly what I wanted. Is key pressed int key get instance key dot key press key code. Perfect. And then we'll do, key begin press. It will do the same exact thing. Perfect. So that's all that set up. Okay, so now let's go to the mouse listener. Now this is going to be a bit longer because I need to also do the the scrolling. So you know what, let me just copy this from the repository since we're not changing anything. We're not going to be changing anything in this specific class. So let's just go through here and import stuff. Okay, yeah, there's going to be quite a bit of stuff to import. Scene manager we still haven't made yet, so we'll get to that. What else? Haven't made the camera yet, but we should be able to import some of this stuff. Oh, what just happened? Anything else? I think that's it for what we can do for now. Cool. So let's just go to the scene manager. Alright, so the scene class is going to be abstract. I'm just realizing we're going to need to update some of the render stuff. Alright, you know what, I'm going to get this done and I'll come back. Alright, so after a lot of debugging, I think I finally got that all done. I'm gonna add the, I haven't added in the scene manager yet, or finished it, because I'm not gonna have game objects in it, I'm realizing, and actually, we don't even need scenes, so we'll just make one scene. Yeah, I think I can just make, we'll just have one scene. And we don't need a scene manager. Yeah, we don't need a scene manager. What was I thinking? Just have a public scene. And we will have a public camera a protected, not protected, sorry, public list, actually, no, sorry, public vector for f, that's gonna hold the backdrop. Actually, wait, the window already has a backdrop, so we don't really need that. You know what, let's call it isActive. And then we'll have a and I'm going to have to make that file structure in a second. Do the init, create an init method. I might delete these later, I'm not entirely sure. And that's it, I believe, besides the update and render method. So let's do that. So we'll do public void update float. I don't like abbreviating my variables. And actually, we do not need a render method. Do we need to load resources? I don't think so. Actually, yeah, we do for fonts and stuff. Oh, right. Okay, wait. I remember. I had that save. I was thinking right in the loop somewhere here. Whoops. So we'll do that, and let's. Okay, this is a bit messy right now, so let's do this. Let's cut. Well, let's do this. Take this, move this up here, and let's create a constructor. Let's create a private constructor, actually. Excuse me. Called getInstance, and then we'll have a private static scene class called instance. This shouldn't be a void, this should be scene right there. And we're going to load properties, load resources, initialize. We'll probably delete those. Yeah, we'll probably delete those. So let's go here. And then I took some of this code from my ImGui project. I just didn't want to type all of it out. And I decided I was going to use the same configuration. The reason why I am doing typing it out right now is because I'm changing a lot of the code. It's just some of this I was copying. It's just like, alright, I'll just copy and paste it, you know. But half of it I am changing because I do not want all of this redundant code. So I'm not, for example, doing game objects because this isn't a game. Alright, that looks good. And then stuff to do the asset pool. The asset pool, well, okay, look, the asset pool, we're not actually going to be doing any images, I'm realizing. So that means we can say, oh, that is not what I meant to do. Package. And we'll create an Alright, so now let's create the asset pool. We're going to need to create a couple, we're going to have to create some shaders. Nope. Come on, it exists. Why isn't the linter working? Shaders equals to new hash map, there we go. And we will do we even use textures? 1 second. We do not use textures. So that means no textures, no sprite sheets. So just shaders. Okay. Yeah, public static shader, get shader. Pass in the resource name, and we will do file, so we have to load in a new file with the resource name. Actually, this should be the resource path. And we'll check well, if the asset pool dot shaders dot contains key file dot absolute path, if it does not, then we'll create a new shader with the resource path. We'll compile it, that way it can actually load. And then we'll put it inside of our hash map, and we'll return this new shader. There we go. So that should be all good. So now I believe there were... Oh, what are your problems? Okay, I think the linter's a bit laggy or broken or whatever. Okay, so there are a bunch of to-dos that I set aside here for us to take a look at. So we need to put the, let's see, we got to put the callbacks. We have to set the first scene, but now we're not doing a scene manager. So then, you know what? Let's just start with input callbacks. All right. So let's see, GLFW window. So we'll just create the input callbacks. GLFW set cursor position callback, GLFW window, the mouse listener, mouse position callback. Alright, perfect. Let's ignore that GLFW. Oops. GLFW set mouse button callback, GLFW window. Perfect. Scroll callback, GLFW window, mouse scroll callback, GLFW key callback. So now we'll do the key callback, pass in the window, pass in the key listener, pass in the key callback. What is this? Yeah. GLFW set window size callback. This is when we resize, the window. And there we go. This is GL viewport. Is this right? Let's comment this out. I do not remember. Okay, and then we have to set the first scene. So we'll just do scene.getInstance. And yeah, so we'll do scene.getInstance, and then we have to actually do load. Yeah, okay, so we'll create it. New scene equals to scene.getInstance, new scene.load properties, load resources, initialize, and start. Alright. Now for the looping. So first we have to do begin frame for the debug. Now I decided not to call it debug since it's going to be the main thing we're drawing with. So it's really just going to be draw.beginFrame. Draw.beginFrame. Perfect. And then here we will do scene, or actually, yeah, scene.getInstance.update. We'll do delta time. We're not rendering anything because we're just going to use the draw class. And then we have to do end frame for mouse and key listeners. So I believe key listener dot end frame. Okay, yeah, that's right. Mouse listener, and then we'll do the same thing here. And then scene manager or scene dot get instance dot save. All right. And the save method, yeah, the save method should save. Now we actually have to fill out this save, or not the save, the scene. Sorry, I'm really tired. It's 9 o'clock. I gotta get to bed soon, but now we gotta fill out the save method. So here we'll do ImGui dot save any settings to disk. There we go. ImGui file path. In the update method, well, now that's in the update method. Now we have to, this is going to be, let's do controls, and then what else? In the init, we'll create camera. So Wait, what is init called? Oh, right here. And I will probably condense this code later. Save file path to asset slash I can't speak slash save slash ImGui dot ini. Is that right? Oh, whatever. Set. I'll set it to 0 for now, I guess. Oh, whatever. Do this later. And then load resources. Do we even need to load any resources? No, not really. Should we? Okay, let's run it, and I'll be astounded if this works first try. So here, we'll do window, or app window, yeah, uh-huh. Oh, right. I gotta do the file structure. My bad. Alright, so in the file structure, we're gonna have the assets folder. Let's do the shaders. Because I think that's the only thing we have. And we'll be using GLSL. Yeah, GLSL. We're gonna create a, I think I called it debug line 2D. I'm gonna have to change it in a sec. But I believe I did call it debug line 2D, and I'll fix that. And actually, yeah, so hashtag type vertex. Yes, I'm just gonna do this real quick. Alright. Still giving me a stack trace. Right, the fonts. Alright, I'm just gonna have to grab a font from somewhere. I believe I should have one here. Oh, there we go. It actually worked. Sweet. Is that it? Well, that seems to be working. But I also remember... So, yeah, I put 130. Alright, there we go. And docking seems to work. I can, in fact, resize the window. I have it set to take up 1/4 of the window at all times. Okay, so now let's test something. If I go to the scene and one second, I gotta turn on the AC. Sorry if you hear a fan in the background, that's just my air conditioner. Okay, before I do anything, let me actually just add this configuration. Let's do an application. Just call this the, I don't know, main launcher. I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. And then do that. We'll be using 1.18.1. Okay, there we go. Apply. Okay, so now should be able to run this. Good. Alright, this all works perfectly. Okay. So now I actually have to do the drawing. Or actually, first let's create the camera. Such a moron. I have to actually create the camera. So in the init, we'll create the camera by... Fuck, wait, what is it? Just camera equals to new camera? What's in here? Whoops. What's in here? Oh, the position. So it's a 0, 0. I think that's it. Right? Create camera. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, I think that's all we have to do to create the camera. Is there an init method we need to? No. Why do we even have an instance of the camera if... That's really useless. Okay, whatever. Okay, so there's that, I guess. Do we need to do anything in the start method? Because if not, I'll just delete it. And in the update method, we need to do the controls. So let's... Before we do the controls, let's actually test the drawing. Add line 2D. New vector 2f. Let's just put it at, let's say, 550, something uneven. New vector 2f. And we'll set it to, I don't know, 400, 200. New vector 3f, and we can just do 0.25f for the color, 0.75f. This should be a green, I believe. RGB, yeah, this should be like a greenish red. Well, actually more like a greenish blue. Sweet. And actually, I believe if we were to put this here, but add a lifetime, let's do 120. This should last for 2 seconds. 1, 2, and it disappears. Cool. But we are not using a lifetime, so yeah. And yeah, that gives it a lifetime of 1. Alright, cool. So now I just want to make there be a way to like move the camera. So what I think I'm gonna do is create 2 methods. So what are the 2? Okay, now we're into new territory. This was all just setting up the application for it to work. Now we're into actually creating the application. So what do I want it to do? So I want it to be able to pan around. So I think dragging the mouse around the cursor drag the cursor around the screen in order to pan around the view of whatever we're looking at. And then zooming in and out, I guess we can do with the scroll wheel. So let's do a private void called update camera pan, and private void update camera pan. We'll check if it's dragging first, and then we'll let's just store those values here. So equals to mouse listener dot get dx, and actually I'm gonna go here and name it to get drag x. Get drag x and float y drag equals to mouse listener dot get drag y. And then I don't know, drag y, and we'll do this drag x just to be a little more consistent. And now we actually have to add whatever drag we have on there. So we'll do drag x times, we have to, so we have to count for the camera zoom, get zoom. Anyways, back to it. So we'll do update. Oh, right, and then we have to actually finish this. And then we'll do, I don't know, do we want some sort of speed, not sped, speed constant, maybe? And then we'll do camera.position.y plus equals to drag.y times camera.getZoom, and then again we'll see if we want a speed constant in case it's too quick. I'm getting carpal tunnel. Good lord. Okay, so now if mouse listener dot is scrolling, yeah, my wrist is getting a bit odd. 1 second. So now I don't know what Copilot is suggesting, but let's do float wheel. So mouse listener dot get scroll y. I don't know what scroll x is. Oh, scroll x is probably if you have like a trackpad or one of those Apple mice and you can like scroll to the left or right. Anyways, then we'll do float, and we'll have a scroll constant. We'll set this equal to 0.2f. We'll test it out. Camera.zoom wheel times the scroll constant. I believe I've used 2f, 0.02f as a scroll constant for some other programs, like last summer actually, not Zoom. Maybe it was 0.2f, I can't remember. But anyways, camera dot adjust projection just to update it. So that'll zoom, and then yeah, let's try it out. Oh, okay, something's not right here. Scrolling doesn't work. Cool. Oh, I'm not calling the update. Whoops. Update camera zoom. There we. Okay, now we can. Okay, yeah, 0.02f works fine. But let's see. Dragging this panning does not work correctly. When I drag down, it drags. Okay. Oh, wait. I'm stupid. Negative. And this is actually pretty good. I think that's perfect, actually. Is this a little too fast? Maybe? I don't know. Not really, in my opinion. And of course, I think we can also increase the FPS, actually. Right. Somewhere here. Or not, maybe? I don't know. Well, that's that. And actually, one second. When I scroll up, it zooms out, and I want it to do the other way. So let's go here. Do that. Yeah, that's better. Now we can scroll in on this. Cool. Sick. Alright. That's done. Wait, is it not saving? If I exit out. Huh, it's not saving my ImGui. Slash saves. Is this why? If I do that. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go, there we go. Now it should save. Yeah, perfect. Now if I put this out here, for example, should pop up. Yep, right there. Perfect. And then docking should work. Awesome. This works perfectly. Alright. I think that's the end of this video. It's already 9:58 and I'm going to Boston tomorrow, so yep. See ya.